feria to check it out with my boyfriend. You're going to be in Torremolinos.
Yeah, but I'm also going to go there.
Are you going to be in the feria?
Yeah. We're staying for a week, and my boyfriend's family lives in Malaga, and they're Andalus from Andalusia. So they're going to show me this is the first.
I didn't know you were going to the feria too.
So a feria is if you're not familiar with it, Andalusia is
it's like a festival.
It's a festival. It means fair, and it's very common. Every sort of region or city in Andalusia has a different feria and different dates. And Malaga's is in August, so I'm going to go with my boyfriend, and his family is going to kind of show me around.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm going to tack onto that too. Thanks for inviting me.
You're listening to Queer Travel Chat by Two Bad Tourists.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Queer Travel Chat. My name is Austin. I am one half of the blogger duo, and joining me as always is my future ex-husband, David.
We do need to get that divorce. I am here too. I was going to ask if you had that thing memorized because we don't write that down, but I guess you just wing it every time.
I do.
What's going on? We're back. We just recorded a week ago. So I feel
we did. Normally we're doing bi-weekly or monthly podcasts, but we squeezed a few into a short period.
Yeah. Are you ready for our cruise that we're going to go on in a couple days?
I'm definitely ready. It's going to be busy. It's a lot going on. We've got about 50 guests going to Greece and Croatia. Super excited.
We're doing our Virgin Voyages cruise out of Greece. We're going to be going to some Greek islands, but also Croatia and what's the other one we're going to? Kotor in Montenegro.
Yes.
We also have 10 guests who are arriving now in Athens, and they're going to start their pre-tour of the city tomorrow. They'll be there for 3 days, and then we're going to meet them on the cruise. So I'm excited.
Yeah, and in recent news, we both obviously got back from Malaga just this past weekend, and then I stayed a bit later in Torremolinos with my boyfriend to celebrate my 42nd birthday, but also our 5-year anniversary, because I actually met my boyfriend on my birthday 5 years ago.
In Sitges Pride, right?
Sitges Pride, which is just south of Barcelona. And by the way, we went to an amazing anniversary dinner at a place called Trocadero, which actually is not in Torremolinos. It's about a 10 or 15 minute car ride. But it's so worth it. It was such a cool experience. So definitely check that out. Well, we've updated our Torremolinos guide, so you can find that on our website.
Oh, okay. Well, you're on top of it. Well, happy belated birthday, and congrats to you and Juan on 5 years. 5 years? I'm impressed because you guys did 4 years?
4 years of long distance.
Long distance, yeah. So congrats. That's a big one. Well, as you just said, we recently visited Malaga and Torremolinos. So we're going to discuss both destinations and why you should go, what you should do when you're there, where you should stay, and of course the gay scene as well. A little bit of Malaga, but mostly Torremolinos is where the gay scene is at for that region.
Yes, and we want to give a special thanks and shout out to McArthurGlen Designer Outlets, who is the sponsor of this episode, where you can get luxury outlet shopping experiences with over 100 brands and discounts of up to 70% off all year round, which is literally true. We'll tell you about that here in a minute. And we went to their location in Malaga and came out with a updated summer wardrobe. So we're super excited to tell you about that and all of our trip to Malaga.
Before we get into the show, if you like it, please subscribe to it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you listen. Also, be sure to leave a 5-star review if you enjoy our episodes. And if you're watching live on any social media platforms, feel free to leave us a comment or share the episode with your friends. You can always follow us on social media. We're always at Two Bad Tourists.
And if you don't like the episode, it's obviously David's fault, right?
I'm not able to say these words right now.
All right, David, let's hear it. You have some fun facts for us. Right?
This is one of my favorite segments of the podcast that we do. I feel like we need to have themed music for it, when they do welcome to this segment, fun facts with Two Bad Tourists.
All right, that's for season 4.
Okay, but I'm going to work on that because I do like researching this because we learn so much. So as we're talking about Malaga, here are some fun facts about the city. Malaga is one of the world's oldest cities. It was founded by the Phoenicians in 770 BC and named Malaga at the time. I feel like you have another.
Oh yeah, Stefan from the Nomadic Boys, who is from Cyprus but speaks Greek, told us that Malaga in Greek also means wanker, or basically penis. But that's an aside.
We're gonna have to go confirm that.
Are you gonna edit that out?
No, that's good information. Let's let other people try and then let us know how that goes if you say that. Also, the Cathedral of Malaga is nicknamed La Manquita, which is to mean one-handed or the one-handed. Its actual full name is, if I can say it correctly, Santa Iglesia Catedral de la Basílica de la Encarnacion. Oh, I feel like I did really good there.
I was about to say, normally that doesn't roll off the tongue.
I
And
mean,
then my joke
yeah.
that it doesn't roll off the tongue is how great
It-
this Verdejo wine rolls off my tongue or into my tongue.
So, though there were plans to build a second tower, it was never completed due to the lack of financing. So, locals gave it this ironic nickname. Do you remember when we were taking our photos in front of it and you're like, oh, I don't think it's finished?
Yeah, definitely
It
looked
was
unfinished.
Now we know why.
Yeah.
We should have investigated that before.
Well, another great thing about Malaga, which is why it gets so much tourism from places all over Europe, is that the sun shines 300 days a year and it gets only about 50 days of rain. So good moods, guaranteed. And that's one of the reasons why Malaga is one of the best cities in Spain to live as an expat. Also, it is the birthplace of Pablo Picasso. Who is that? Just kidding. So Pablo Picasso was born in 1881. He, of course, is one of the most famous artists of the 20th century. Born there in Malaga, and if you can believe it, he created 13,000 paintings, 100,000 engravings and drawings, 34,000 book illustrations, and about 300 sculptures and ceramics. So that landed him in the record books.
Did you have any idea that he was from there when we went there?
I didn't. No.
Like
I actually
last weekend?
learned that about 30 minutes ago when you gave me this
I mean,
podcast.
we're really
topic.
living up to our two-bed tourist
Yeah,
name right now, because I mean, these are things to know that I wish we had known, but while we were there, because we can really appreciate it. In the province of Malaga, there are about 45 wineries and 265 brands of wine that have a denomination. Speaking of, of our not
Let's try to
Malaga
do it.
wine.
Oh,
it
wait,
would
that
have been,
didn't look good. Here, do it over here.
wait,
Oh,
come to me.
Well, look at how it looks like my hand is fat and part of my arm. Anyways,
I'll never be able to use this. There are 265 brands of wine. They have a denominación de origen, which is like the appellation for French wines, meaning that you can know that they're from this particular region and they meet certain standards to be considered wines from this region. So Malaga has 3 DOs to abbreviate. So there's DO Malaga, DO Sierra de Malaga, and then DO Pasas de Malaga. So definitely a good place for wine, but the southern region of Spain and Andalusia is also very well known for its sherry. So although it's not specifically from Malaga, it's from Jerez, it's definitely a place where you can find lots of sherry. Malaga's residents are also known as anchovies, or in Spanish, boquerones. So although you would generally call them malagueños, people from Malaga, they have a nickname called boquerones. People aren't exactly sure why. It could be that, of course, boquerones and vinegar cured anchovies, or also fried anchovies, are a very popular thing to eat in the south. But others say it's because the people of Malaga are beautiful, nimble, and like to gather together, just like the fish.
Oh, and if you're from the States, anchovies might sound like kind of a disgusting dish to eat, but actually in Spain here, they're quite good.
They're fantastic.
They're a
it's a whole
delicacy.
different other level of quality, and definitely something that people have to come
Not
try.
like the anchovies that the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would eat on their pizzas, right?
Oh, did they eat that in
Yeah,
their
that was like
pizzas?
the whole joke.
Oh, I just remember that on Friends, when Ross and Rachel were breaking up, that she wanted it in the pizza sauce.
Well, speaking of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there are several different ways of ordering coffee in Malaga. My transitions are great, right? So they have a really specific way of classifying coffees, which you won't find in any other city. They have different names which represent the different types of, or the ratio of milk to a coffee. So, for example, you have a solo, largo, semi-largo, solo corto, mitad, entre, corto, which maybe I already said, entre corto, and nube, which means cloud, and sombra, which is like shadow. So anyways, if you go to Malaga, just order a coffee, but if they might ask you like what type, that's what it's all
repeat that about. Without reading your script.
Solo, largo, doble, triple, entre corto, entrecote, sole, doble.
That's a
I
kind
don't
of
know. Back to you.
So those are the fun facts. Let's get into some of the sites that you should see when you're in Malaga.
So when we first arrived, we obviously visited the cathedral that we just talked about, which is the Catedral de la Encarnación, which was erected where the city's main mosque had been during the Muslim rule. The building of the cathedral began in the 16th century and continued through the 17th and 18th century, and of course is not finished anymore.
As we mentioned, yeah. And 2 other really big main sites there are going to be the Alcazaba, which is a fortress that was built in the 10th century, also during the Muslim period. And then later, when the city was conquered by the Catholics, it was used as their royal residence. And then the Castillo de Gibralfaro. Oh, I think I finally said it right. Oh, that took a while. The Gibraltar Castle was built in the 14th century to house troops and also protect the Alcazaba and the city itself. And then again, after the Catholic kings conquered the castle in 1487, it was used as a temporary residence.
And then actually the third site right on that same hill or mountain right next to the sea are the Roman ruins. So right in that same area, there's kind of three main sites that you can't miss. So if you visit Malaga, definitely go check them all
And they're
out.
all like very centrally located and right next to each other. So it's actually really easy to go visit all these sites. You don't have to leave the city center, really.
So some other sites that you might want to visit during your trip are the Botanical Gardens. There's the Puerto de Malaga, which is the port. It's a lively marina with shaded promenades and restaurants and shops, panoramic views of the yachts and boats.
Oh, we did like go visit that, and it's very much like an outdoor mall feeling.
Yes.
It's quite beautiful.
Yeah, so we had drinks there, and then we
Yeah.
also had lunch, which is
Felt very
great.
rich.
There are over 30 museums in Malaga. So, for example, the Picasso Museum is a must visit.
Had we visited the Picasso Museum, we would know that.
We would know that. We certainly didn't, but we recommend it. There's the Museum of Malaga, which brings together art and archaeology. And then there's the Automobile and Fashion Museum, which is all about wine. No, just kidding. It's about cars and fashion. But there's also a wine museum, says David, according to this podcast outline.
Listen, it was your delivery on the joke. That's a good joke. But there's a wine museum, and I actually want to go visit it. We didn't have time. We only did a 3-day trip, so
but what we did do was a lot of shopping.
Okay, so those are the main sites of Malaga. Of course, there's also lots of shopping. It's a popular tourist destination, and people like to shop when they're on vacation. While shopping on and around Calle Larios is the main area for popular brands, you're definitely going to be paying for it because the rental prices for businesses there are among the highest in all of Spain for certain shopping streets. It's definitely a cute street worth strolling through, but we opted for McArthurGlen Designer Outlet, where you can get discounts of 30 to 70% off. Because you definitely get fantastic options and brands, and you really do good prices. I was very impressed. Of course, we mentioned that this is today's episode sponsor, so we were bound to go visit, but we honestly found great stuff, and they didn't pay us to say that.
Yeah, actually, the best part is that neither of us are big shoppers, to be honest. That's not something that we do in our free time. But we did go, and we actually had such a great time. We probably spent 3 or 4 hours there. And it was great because you had all these like great designer brands all in sort of one spot in a small area. And because the prices are so heavily discounted, we got like really great quality shirts and shoes and things like that for a great price. So that was great.
I mean, I really was surprised like how much shopping we did.
I hate shopping. I'm going to be honest, but we had a really good time.
Because we're going to go in and check out certain stores, and then we stayed there way longer than we were planning to. And I think we probably bought double than we were planning to. We knew that we wanted a couple particular shirts and things, but we ended up getting a lot more and spent most of the day there, to be honest.
Yeah, so I would say if you're unlike us and you actually do like shopping, you'll love the outlet mall. I would definitely go. It's great if you're visiting either Malaga or Torremolinos, which is a nearby little gay city, which we'll talk about here in a moment. So yeah, definitely check it out. I got some like great shirts, a polo shirt, and the prices were great. It's like some of the places I bought, it was like H&M or Zara prices, but for really great quality, right? Like they're going to last for years as opposed to falling apart in the wash.
I feel like we discovered some new stores and brands too, which we'll mention those names in a bit too, but it was kind of, you had your standard ones that we all know, and then some other ones that I wasn't too familiar with. So I particularly needed an outfit for Scarlet Night. As we mentioned at the top of the episode, we're going to be going on our Virgin Voyages cruise, and they're really well known for their Scarlet Night party. So that's when everybody's going to be dressed in red, just similar to a white party. But you want to wear something bright red, and you nixed my white button-up shirt that have little red skulls on it, which I thought was a good outfit last year.
It wasn't red enough.
Okay, but it wasn't red enough, so then I was like, okay, I need to go find something red, and
but you can give me that shirt if you want. I'll wear it.
No, I'm gonna wear it still. I'm bringing it on the cruise, but just not for Scarlet
It's a
Night.
super cute shirt. It just doesn't work for
Well, then I just had to go I went into one store, didn't find it, second store, didn't find it, third store, bingo, I found it, and it was 40% off, so that was a great deal. And then I needed white shorts to go with it. You were already crapped out.
Yeah.
You were done shopping.
I was done, so.
So you went and took a break at the Starbucks. I was like, okay, I know these shorts are here because we got such great stuff. And I found shorts for 18 euros for my white shorts. And then I got 2 other shirts for the cruise for only 16 euros each. So I was really happy.
Yeah,
I would have been happy with just one red shirt, but I got a lot. I got the whole outfit.
Well, some of the other stores that we checked out, some of the brands we know and some we didn't. So Scalpers and Silbone were new ones we didn't know. Of course, we know Guess and Levi's, Pepe Jeans.
Pepe jeans we know in Spain. I don't know if people know that outside.
We also visited Coach. We don't typically buy stuff from Coach, but I know a lot of friends that do. And what's cool about Coach is they have a LGBT line of accessories for men, which if you check out our Instagram stories, you can see that. And they can even personalize some of your products. And the discounts from Coach products were like immense. They were like 60 to 70% off. So if that's your jam, definitely check it out. And then we checked out Tony Pons for shoes. Which was,
there were
cool.
Lots of good shoes. I also needed to get a red pair of shoes to go with my red shirt for Scarlet Night, and I found some good of those, like, what do you call them when they're like the slip-on shoes? They're gonna be perfect.
Shoes?
Well, like slip-on shoes, but with boat vibes. Yeah, exactly that. We took a break at Starbucks, but of course, if you need a full meal, connected to the outlet was this whole, they call it the Plaza Mayor, which I guess is the name of the shopping center right outside of it. So there's lots of places to eat. You could have a drink as well. So we stopped at Goico, right?
Yep.
Got some food and a tinta de verano.
Yeah, the location.
Yeah,
the location for this McArthurGlen designer outlet in Malaga is great. A lot of times outlets they're always near like city centers or capitals, but they can sometimes be a bit far outside the city. This one is actually quite close. It's about maybe 10 to 15 minutes by either car or train or bus to the center. From Malaga Airport, it's like 5 minutes on the train. And if you're not a EU resident, you can get a tax refund of up to 15.7%. You can even drop off your luggage. Up to 15.7%. If you're like coming from the airport or maybe stopping there before your flight, you can drop off your luggage. They'll hold it for you.
Which worked out for us because we had to I had to catch the train back. You were continuing on the Torremolinos, but I had to go back to Madrid, catch the train. So it was nice that I could drop off.
And if you shop so much that you have so many bags that you can't carry them, you can leave them at guest services. They'll hold them for you.
That's not us, but some people are like that.
Yeah. And McArthurGlen Designer Outlets actually has 25 locations, more than 25 locations across Europe, and one in Canada and Vancouver. And like I said, it's often close to capitals or metro centers. So for example, if you're visiting Vienna or Paris or Berlin, you're going to find an outlet store or center really close to those metro centers.
Apart from the shopping, Malaga has lots of beaches as well. It has 14 kilometers of beaches, or in English, that is 8.7 miles. So just to name a couple that are quite popular, there is the Malagueta beach that we saw, that we went to go visit because it's the closest one right to the center, the most popular. There's also Playa de Palo, there's Playas de las Acacias, and then there's Playa Guadalmar, which is going to be the clothing optional beach closest to Malaga. I think it's between Malaga and Torremolinos. This wasn't a big foodie trip, so I don't think we can recommend a ton of restaurants, but we did eat at a couple. We tried Casa Lola, which is a popular one for tapas, and it was a really good spot. They did have a line, but the line went really fast, and they had a waiting list, which was great, and it was actually worth the wait.
I would just say if you go, maybe go for like an early Spanish dinner. So for example, if you arrive by like 7 or 8, you won't wait as long. If you go like 8, 9, or 10, after that it'll be a longer.
But the service was good. The food was fantastic. That's definitely one I'll repeat.
Was great.
Yeah. And there's also a Mesón Mariano, which is a traditional Spanish restaurant known for its artichokes and seafood overall. So that's another good option. For hotels, we only stayed at one, obviously.
Yeah, we were there for a few days, and we stayed at the Only You Malaga. They have a few different properties around Spain, and I think in New York. This one in Malaga is actually a 5-star hotel, and they have an awesome rooftop pool with amazing views of the entire city center. Cute bar and restaurant in the main lobby, and actually probably the best thing was it was centrally located, right?
Yeah.
It was like 3 minutes away from the cathedral, probably 10 minutes up to the hill where the Alcazaba and the like fortress and the Roman ruins are, and then really close to the beach. So that was really great.
It's also in like a historic building as well, right? Do you remember?
It is. I don't know the history of the building, but the hotel has only been there for maybe less than 10 years, but the building itself is quite historic.
The 5-star service is really 5-star service too. I mean, you felt that right when you walked through the doors.
Sure.
That was nice. Okay, so when to go to Malaga? We went in the month of June, which is a fantastic time. It's probably the first month of summer that's not first month of summer, but first month of the season. It's the first month of the season that's worth going. Anytime from June to September, assuming you're trying to go for the sun and fun, this is the time to go. July and August are going to be the hottest, so you got to know that. Hopefully your place has air conditioning. You're going to be spending time at the beach or at the pool at your hotel. but ideally June and September, the very beginning and end of the summer season, is going to be great for the weather and for the crowds, I would say.
Yeah, and certainly if you just want to visit, it's a place that you can visit all year long, right? It's temperate. So just know that if you go from maybe, I don't know, October, November through March, it's not beach weather, but it's not going to be cold. So if you're there for sightseeing and shopping, it's great. But if you want like the summer beach vibes, yeah, definitely May, June to probably September.
And there's only 300 days of summer a year, so or sunshine a year.
Yeah,
so
only.
The odds are in your favor. Another good time to go, because we like to travel for events, is the Feria de Malaga. So this is like a big festival, kind of street party that happens every August, where they have dancing, eating, and drinking, free concerts all outside. This has been going on since the 15th century. Only since then. It was, I think, originally for their patron saint, which is the Virgen de la Victoria. So I'm going to go for the first time in August to go for this feria to check it out with my boyfriend. You're going to be in Torremolinos.
Yeah, but I'm also going to go there.
Are you going to be in the feria?
Yeah. We're staying for a week, and my boyfriend's family lives in Malaga, and they're Andalus from Andalusia. So they're gonna like show me this is the first.
I didn't know you were going to the feria too.
So a feria is like, if you're not familiar with it, Andalusia is
it's like a festival.
It's a festival. It means like fair, and it's very common. Like every sort of region or city in Andalusia has a different feria and different dates. And Malaga's is in August, so I'm going to go with my boyfriend, and his family is going to kind of show me around.
Yeah, that's going to be great. I'm going to tack onto that too. Thanks for inviting me.
Okay.
The one in Seville, I would say, is the most like known nationally, internationally. People go for that one, which is in April, but that doesn't mean that there's not other ones all around.
Well, and the difference with the Seville one, although it's the most famous, it's the most exclusive, which means that you actually are not allowed to enter most of they call them casetas, but they're like tents where people have the food and the drink and the dancing. Most of them are private in Seville, so you can't go in.
Yeah, I think
I
think there's only 2 public
ones. In Malaga, on the other hand, they're all public, so everyone can enter. So it's much more accessible to visitors and tourists.
Yeah, so that's gonna be an exciting time to go, because you get to you're guaranteed a fun time, because it's like a street party, but also you're seeing something cultural, and you're in a wonderful beachside city. So that's of course a good time to go.
Yeah, so talking a little bit about Malaga. So Malaga is not necessarily known for its gay scene. We'll talk a little bit about Torremolinos, which is known for its gay scene, which is nearby. But if you are in Malaga and you don't want to leave the center, there are a few places that you can go visit. There's Kipfer and Lover. There's the Carmen Gay Bar, which is more of like a food and drinks
yeah,
place
we went there, and that like is
it's more of a restaurant style.
Yeah, have some kind of some small bites, and get to be around your people.
Right. Whereas the others, the Kipfer and Lover I mentioned, Lola's Copas or La Comedia, these are more like late night places, bars that you would check out on the weekends.
Yeah, more weekends.
But of course, if you're in Malaga and you want to check out the gay scene in that region, you're actually going to want to visit Torremolinos, which is about a 25-minute
Torremolinos to Malaga is like Palm Springs to LA, like Fire Island to New York,
Key West to Miami,
Pete Town to
Boston. But the big difference is
to Barcelona.
Yeah, all the ones we just mentioned in the US are quite far from the main capital city. Torremolinos to Malaga is a 25-minute train ride.
Yeah.
So it's like you can literally go there for the night and then come back home to your hotel in Malaga.
You can really stay either city, because they're so well connected. And if you're going to do the nightlife in Malaga, by the time you finish, it's already public transit is opened. I'm sorry, if you're going to do the nightlife in Torremolinos, which goes until 6 a.m.
Yeah,
public transit is already running.
It's already open again. It's closed and reopened since the time that you've been out.
So Torremolinos, this is where all the gays go in the summer month, right outside of Malaga, as we said, to go for the parties, to go for the sun. There's Torremolinos Pride. There's Mad Bear Beach Weekend. There's Wonder Beach Festival. There's the Lice Dream. Did I mention Bears Week? There's Bears Week as well. So there are also 3 gay beaches to choose from, but the most popular would be El Gato Beach, or sometimes they refer to it as Eden Beach, because there's the Eden Beach Club right there as well. That's where we will be this August.
Yay! So Torremolinos was a gay hotspot that started in the 1960s, if you can believe it. So when the first gay bar opened there. Today, it may seem a little bit outdated as the buildings and architecture are more like 60s and 70s, and that style is still largely present. So when you go, it's not like you're gonna go and see this sort of like 16th century cathedral and old buildings. No, it's more modern, but it's not quite modern. So it's a little bit let's say and
Stuck in the
it's
70s.
stuck in the 70s, but you go not for the architecture and the buildings, but you go for the beach. The beach is like such a great atmosphere, and you go for the gay nightlife because, oh my gosh, in one small area, which is called La Nogadera, there's probably like 20 or 30 gay bars and clubs and venues in this tiny, 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 small little area. So it's just such a cool area to visit. The energy that you get there, it's actually unlike any other little gay pueblo city that I've been to.
Yeah, you go for the atmosphere of all the people that are there because the
For
gays
sure.
really do take it over in the summer months. And I remember telling just a few months ago, one of my colleagues, they were asking me, what was your last vacation? I mentioned Torremolinos, and she giggled at me a little bit, like, why Torremolinos of all places?
She was straight, right?
She was straight. I was
Okay.
like, that's where the gays go. That's
Yes,
where the
yes.
like, the all the energy is. All the like, it's a fantastic time, and the beaches are still great, and you can be very easily and quickly connected to Malaga
Well,
if
and
you do want a little more culture.
that's kind of the nice balance is you want to go for the culture and the history and the architecture and the beauty. You go to Malaga or you stay in Malaga, but then when you want the nightlife and the gay scene, and there's actually even lots of day parties and the beach club, you can really mix the two. Whether you stay in one or the other, you can do both of them all in one trip. It's really great. And one of the other great things is that region in Spain is really inexpensive. So I think I was there with my boyfriend Juan. We were paying like €4 for cocktails, and it just it was like
it's so good.
unreasonably inexpensive.
Yeah.
So it was really cool. Another great part is a lot of beach towns in Spain, for example, like Ibiza, or if you go to Sitges, south of Barcelona, they have kind of a short summer season, which is maybe only 3 to 4 months, say June to September or something like that. The one in Torremolinos is actually getting longer and longer because it's warm quite most of the time of the year. I'd say it extends like 6 to 7 months. There are events that start as early as April and they go as late as
nice.
October. So it's great. It's inexpensive. We're of course going back in August for Bears Week, so check in with us to ask how that was. Well, actually, you've already been for Bears Week once.
Oh gosh, it's
I've been
so
for Bears
fun.
Week.
Yeah, we been together
yeah,
once,
yeah,
so I've
yeah.
been twice.
Yeah,
This is
you've been
maybe
twice,
third
yeah.
Bears Week, so it's always a party, always a fun time. I also feel like the service is so great in the south compared to like in Madrid. The food is really great. We have great food here too, but because everything's kind of slower there, you take your time. You're not in the big city anymore.
But if
so-
you do happen to speak Spanish, you're going to struggle with the Andalus accent. I've lived in Spain 11 years, and I really still struggle. When I'm in Madrid, I'm fluent. I feel fine. When I'm in Andalusia, I'm like,
That's not Spanish.
I can't
I
understand.
stand by this. It's still
Yeah.
that's not Spanish.
Well, so guys, we really hope you enjoyed our episode about Malaga, Torremolinos, about McArthurGlen outlets. So thank you so much to them for sponsoring this episode. If you're going to either destination, please consider visiting the outlet center to do some shopping. And I'll throw
send
it back.
us pics of you and your Speedos that you buy there.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll throw it back to David for the closing.
If you like the show, please subscribe to it on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you listen. Be sure to leave a 5-star review if you enjoyed the episodes. Plus, if you're watching live on any social media platform, feel free to leave us a comment or share the episode with your friends. You can follow us on social media. We're always at Two Bad Tourists. And lastly, please feel free to leave a comment about what you want to hear more of. We are always paying attention to that. And we are only going to be at 8 episodes this season. So let us know because we need to throw in some more.
Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for our next episode, which is coming up. I'm going to say asterisk. I think the episode is going to be about Morocco. So if that goes well, you should be hearing about Morocco in July.
And just like pulling these destinations out of your ass, like why you think it's going to be about Morocco.
Well, I've been chatting with someone who I think is going to be a guest.
Oh, do we have like a Moroccan guest?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yay.
The tour operator that's based in Morocco.
Oh, okay.
So hopefully we can line that up. And if you don't already know, we do this podcast in seasons. This is our 3rd season. And honestly, the biggest reason we stop is because, well, this podcast studio is in my apartment. I don't have air conditioning in this room.
It's about to get real hot.
And in July and August and in September, it's about to get so hot we would be sweating. Plus, we take vacation. So it's just a nice reason to take a little break. and we'll pick up again back probably in like October, something like that.
So I always like to do at least 10 episodes a season. So we're on episode 7 now. So let's just call the next one episode 10. See you for
See you for episode
the
10.
lost episodes of 8 and 9 you'll never find.